it's Jennifer from Craft Forest. Today I wanted to show you how to make a marquee door hanging. I'm absolutely obsessed with marquees. They're everywhere. You see these letters at thrift stores, you see lots of DIYs on Pinterest, and I thought it'd be really fun to make a simple, inexpensive version that you can hang on your door or hang on your wall. So let me show you these guys and then we'll show you how to make them. So this one I made out of a paper mache letter that I got at the craft store, and you can make your own on those too out of cardboard. Some LED lights and just a wood plaque that I had from another project. I love these. They're so, so cute. And I put a little string on it so you can actually hang it on the front door, and just think it's so much fun. It looks really great at night too. I wish we could show you guys that. So let me show you what we need and how we'll make it. Okay, so again we're going to use these paper mache letters. You can get these at the craft store. They're relatively inexpensive, or you can actually build a model out of cardboard, and we'll be sure to show you on the blog how to do that too. So these are, mine are about 8 inches. They come in a couple of different sizes. This one was a really great size to make it workable to hang on the front door. We're going to use an LED light kit. These are just battery operated lights, and they come where you can have them on or you can have them flashing. You can get them colored, you can get them clear. I really like the look of the clear ones. They look a little blue in this one. I have another set at home that's a little brighter too, so they come in lots of different variations, which are super fun. So we'll need those. I'm going to use just a wood cut that I actually used just a black Sharpie and colored the back, but you could make it match your front door. You could do red. I think it would look really, really beautiful with the kind of natural color here. You can be a little creative there. And then you'll also need at home, you'll need a drill, because we actually drilled a hole through the back side of this one so that we could feed the cords through. Today, just for time's sake, we're just going to show you how to feed it through the letter and pretend that we already have it through this side, okay? All right, so the magic of television will help us get that done. So then we also need a way to poke some holes. We're going to use just an X-Acto knife, and then I have this little tool that's actually for jewelry. It's just kind of a perfect circle. We're going to use that, but you could use a pencil, you could use a screw, really anything that you have that's going to match up with the size of your lights that you can help punch a hole through. So what we're going to do first is grab our paper mache letter, and what we need to do is actually cut out the back. We're going to hollow out the back, so let's turn it over. And we're going to grab our X-Acto knife. These are pretty pliable. You can cut through without getting through to the other side. And there's a small little zigzag lining in between that keeps them, gives them the dimension and the shape. We're going to try to keep that intact so that we have a good solid letter. And then we're going to poke our holes to the front. So let's go through, and I'm just going to do a small little slice here, kind of just tracing the outline of the letter. And then we'll pull that backing off to open that front side for us. And this comes off fairly easy. And again, it's the back, so you're not going to see it, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to worry about that. Go. And you just want to get a little bit of an edge. I usually start kind of down at the bottom. Kind of take your X-Acto knife then, or your hole punch, and kind of just pop a little hole in, and then you can actually just pull this straight up. It comes off fairly easily. And if you get a little bit of your side there like I did, really it's not a problem. It's going to stay in place really well. Okay, so we're just going to keep pulling that off. And you can start to see that little zigzag lining on the inside there. We're going to try to tuck that into place just to continue to give some shape to our letter. But if you want to pull it out to make more space, or if it's easier to work with, that's fine too. Okay, so you can see now that we've got our letter, the backside cut off, and these are those little inserts that I was talking about. We're going to go ahead and take them out just for ease of use. But if you wanted to at home, you can actually fold them and sort of tuck them along this inside, really whichever way works best for you and is easiest to kind of get inside and work with your letter. Okay, so just kind of tidy that up a little bit. I'm going to fold in all these sides here. And we'll move this over here. Okay, so now we've got our letter F, and we're going to punch our holes through so that we can actually feed our light kit through. And then I thought it would be fun. You see a lot of those marquee lights with kind of a white center, and it kind of highlights the light. We're going to cheat and do that with just some reinforcements. It's basic office supplies. We're going to put those on the holes and then feed our lights through. And so when it's lit up at night, it actually looks like it's kind of all one light kit. Looks really fancy and expensive, and you're going to love it. So, all right, so let's poke our holes now. So on this one, you kind of just want to look at the letter, look at the size of your letter, and figure out how you can evenly space. And then you also want to make sure you know how many lights you have in your light kit. So we have 15 lights in these, so we want to make sure that we evenly space and get a really good look on our letter here. So we've got just kind of a template here that we're going to use as our ruler, and we're going to go about an inch apart. So I'm going to start at the side of my letter, and want to kind of be here in the center. And I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife to kind of mark where I want my lights to go. Okay. And then when I get to the letter F here, I'm going to cheat out a little bit. I'm going to go actually a little past an inch, so that way I get a really nice line going down. I'm going to switch and use this tool instead of the X-Acto knife so you guys can see these on camera where that hole is. Okay, so then we're going to cheat out a little bit, and we're going to go about let's see, about 1.5 inches when we come over to this side, so that way we can start going down the side of the letter F. Okay, so I've started punching those holes. I'm going to go through and punch the rest of these, and I'll meet you right back here, and then we'll show you how to actually puncture through and make the hole for your light kit. Okay, so now we've got our letter all marked out, and I actually went and put a little Sharpie dot there just so you can see all of my holes evenly spaced. And now we're going to use our tool, and again, you can use a pencil, you could use the backside of your X-Acto knife. You want just something that's going to give you a little bit of pressure and help you to poke that hole that's going to be the right size for your light kit. So I'm going to turn this around, and with this one, it's actually fairly simple just to kind of poke straight through. And be careful you don't go too wide on them. You want it to be a nice circle. This one I went a little bit wide on. There we go. You can just poke straight through. And you want to be careful that you kind of maintain the shape of your letter and you don't wrinkle it too much. And you could paint these, or you can leave them as they are. I really like kind of the natural color that they are. This F doesn't have as much structure as the C did, so it's kind of bending a little bit more. So be aware of that when you have your letters. See, I've kind of cracked through on that side, but it's an easy fix. We can fix that from the inside, so nothing to worry about. And then if you're making these out of cardboard, same thing, you can create just a little bit of dimension on the sides, and we'll show you how to do that. But now I've got all my letters poked through, and you can see we'll just need to do a little repair on the bottom there. But really, really simple. It's a quick project, comes together easily. So let's pretend that on our woodcut that we have cut our hole to go straight through the back if you're going to mount this to be a door wreath. What we would do then is take our light kit, and I'm actually just affixing it to the back. I just use some packing tape and just put it right on the back so that way it's easy to take off and change your batteries if you need to. Pretty good battery life on these. I was really, really pleased to see how long they were lasting. And then what I did was I just fed the lights straight through my hole and came out through the back, and I made sure that my hole was going to be hidden by my letter on this one over here. So let's assume that we did that. And now we've got our light kit, we've pulled it through, and I'll show you how to feed these in. And I went ahead and put my lights in first, and then I added the reinforcement label sticker on it, so that way I could make sure that any little tear or any little spot that I had could be covered by the sticker, so it was a little tidier. So I'm going to start at the bottom here, and all I'm doing is just feeding the light through the back. And if your holes are the right size, it's just going to set in there nicely. And they're pretty secure. You don't have to worry about taping them or fixing them to the back. They do pretty well. If you find that you have some issues, a little piece of washi tape will solve that, or a little piece of Scotch tape. You just want to make sure it's something that is removable, so you could take these out if you need to. And then if you do take these down, you don't want to store the lights in it. You want to pull those out so that way your lights are intact. Here we go. So I'm just going to keep feeding these through. Really simple. And you can see that my cords are just coming around here, and we'll tuck those in once we're finished. And I'm just going to feed it through the back. There we go. Almost finished. And our cord's going to be hanging from the top, but yours will be tucked neatly behind your board, so that won't be a problem. Okay. And then on this one that I cut a little bit wide, we'll see how that one works. But what we could do is, yeah, actually wasn't too bad there. Go. So now we've got all of our lights in. Turn those on. Maybe you guys can see that. Here, we'll do it on the flashing side. There we go. Yeah, so easy, so simple. So my cord, again, yours will be attached to the back, or depending on the size of your letter, you might be able to slide it in the back. I tried it on a few samples and just made it a little bulky, and it wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be. So then you would just tuck your cords in so that they all lay flat. Make sure that your lights are the way you want them on the front side, that they're not kind of poking back through the back. Okay, so now we've got all of our lights poked through and we've got our cords tucked as neatly as possible on the back side. Really your main goal back here is just to make sure that it sits flat, especially if you're going to mount it or even when you hang it on the wall, you want to make sure that nothing's poking through and the lights aren't kind of coming out through the bottom. So let me show you the front side here. We've got all of these poked through, and then I just used these reinforcement labels, these little stickers, just to give it kind of a little extra, just kind of makes it look finished there. And that's it. So then I would attach it to my woodcut, tie a little ribbon, tie a little something on it just to hang it to the door, and you're set. So I love the way they came out. I really think they're super cute and can't wait to give them as gifts. They'd be perfect for Christmas. You never can start too early. And I love them, so I really hope that you guys do too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next week for a brand new video. Thanks guys, bye-bye.